So once again, Hoop fans, Lori Shepard coming to you.
We're going to talk a lot about fantasy football rankings. I want to give the biggest shout out to high school sports.
Belly cut the defender, gets the ball. And it falls at the buzzer!
And we're live.
And we're live.
Oh, hey!
Hello, welcome.
I'll have more comments on that later, Lori.
Can I just say that Emily Mortner and Kate Gaylor tried to pick classes up for me today. How do you think that went at my
Amazing.
age? Welcome
Fun.
in, everybody.
Fun. Amazing.
Another great age story.
Yep.
We're just killing it with that
we're
today.
killing it with the age stories. Welcome into Four Quarters on our Four Quarters Facebook page, 802 Scoops Facebook, and we are also on YouTube. Welcome in. Happy Hump Day. It feels like it should be Friday.
It does, hence the...
Raylene, thank you for the candy.
Oh
Is
my,
all I
yes.
can say. Thank you for the candy.
There might not be any left when she comes in tomorrow.
No, so don't get mad, okay? We promise to fill it back up. All right. So welcome in. Lots to talk about. I should put my timer on. We have a special guest stopping in, probably around 6 o'clock. We'll take a little 30-second break. Might come up, and we will be back. But in the meantime, I'm going to throw it to this one.
Okay. Good. Just not me.
Not you. I'm going to throw it to this one for some shout-outs.
Sure.
And then we'll go check in with CV on some shout-outs and doggy news.
So my first shout out is to our good friend and loyal watcher, Kayla Jobin.
Kayla.
She finally is not pregnant. Finally.
I mean, congratulations.
Congratulations on
Where I'm
your
going to
baby.
go with it. She's
Little-
finally not pregnant.
Finally not pregnant. Baby boy, Ryan Edward, born this morning. Already has
Congrats.
2 of the cutest girls you're ever going to see. So this little boy's in a lot of trouble,
Yep, he is.
Oh.
basically.
Ooh, boy.
But congratulations to her and James and the 2 girls. Mom and baby are doing great.
Good. That was my next question.
yes,
Not
they're
that she's not pregnant
And she's
anymore,
finally not pregnant. Because literally every day for the last month, I'm like, are you still pregnant?
but Kayla, you'll get a
Still
hug from
pregnant.
Wheels next time she sees
Yep.
you. Because you've gone 9 months without one.
Right? She got a side hug. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for me. Sammy Drake really helped,
Desensitized.
Yes.
How is Sam Drake doing?
Sammy
I
Drake
miss
is
her.
doing awesome.
I miss
She's
her.
the busiest mom ever.
Yeah.
And the puppy is really...
Mom and puppy.
Yeah, well, her and the puppy are not friends.
Why did you?
Well, it's not all about that. So when Isaac is not home, all the puppy does is stare at Sam and bark at her.
Oh, no.
God.
Literally gets right up into
Like
her face
Bo?
and
Just
barks.
Just barks.
Just barks.
It's annoying.
Yeah. So she's
have a dog
struggling
that does that.
with the puppy. So right now it's a love-hate relationship. So we'll see how that goes. But,
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
And obviously I wasn't here last week to do a Caitlin Clark shout out.
I
so
know none of us had one.
none of you stepped
Nobody,
it up.
nobody chimed in.
can't
CB and I
believe
had
this.
nothing.
I
It's,
can't believe
it's
this.
off season. What is she doing? She's playing golf.
You guys,
She's
She is
playing
playing
golf.
I can
Playing a lot of
always
golf.
find something. I told you this.
Oh boy.
So the 2024 list of women in sports, women who make the most in sports came out. Caitlin Clark made the top 10. She is actually 10th.
Who's number 1?
Number 1 is Goff, the
Oh,
tennis
okay.
player.
Really?
Coco
Oh,
Gauff
interesting.
made $30.4 million. I mean, pretty good.
Shout out.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
That's very impressive. Caitlin Clark made $11 million. And I will tell you right now, only 1% of that $11 million came from her salary
Salary.
as a WNBA
Right.
player.
I was
Yep.
just going to say
That's all
nothing-
sponsorships.
Yep.
Nothing to do with
Yep.
her salary.
So her base salary is about $77,000. She got a bonus for making the first team, the All-Star team, Rookie of the Year, and All-Rookie team. And for, which I did not realize this, for her team reaching the first round of the playoffs, she also got a
Solid.
nice little bonus.
Wow, that's
It's
nice.
not a lot, but hey. So shout out to her for making the top 10 list. But, unfortunately,
We're shouting out her making money.
we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there was another article.
Do you think Wheels can see me out of the corner of her eye?
I know what you're doing. Another article that states that Caitlin Clark is responsible for more than a quarter of all WNBA revenue.
I think I saw a thing, maybe it was on Instagram, where she brought $35 million.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. And there was a significant drop in viewership once the Indiana Fever were out of the playoffs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the officials can fix that next year.
Yes, maybe.
We're going to talk about officials.
Ooh,
I'm going
awkward.
to stick up for the officials, though. I hope Orty's listening.
Okay, that's it.
That's it?
That's
Okay.
all I got.
All right.
You
CD,
know?
we got some doggy stuff going on. Doggy news.
Yep, I just got distracted. Yeah, so
No.
Shocker.
what is an attention span? All right, dog of the week this week is Simon. He's 2 years old. He's a
Great name.
Great Pyrenees mix. There's some fantastic pictures. You guys aren't seeing it, but there's this one with him like some fancy flu collar and then sunglasses. He looks so cool.
Wow.
Cool.
He's being
pretty sweet.
he's being rehomed.
Beyond cool. He's beyond cool.
Yep, he's being rehomed. He's all about his team, so he loves his family.
Yep.
Gets a little spooked by the stranger danger, which valid humans suck sometimes.
Right.
You
Humans
can't,
do.
you
They
can't,
do.
you can't trust them.
But I live with a dog that just doesn't.
So do I. So do I. But he does currently live with an 8-year-old older sister and an older cat, and he seems to just ignore the cat. Simon says he knows all of his basic commands. He does this cute little thing where if you say car, he'll stop, wait for the car to pass, and then they can
Oh
cross.
my goodness.
Oh, he doesn't chase them like Avery?
Yeah. So he's very, very intelligent.
Yes.
Yep. He loves the X's and O's. He's a pretty chill guy as long as he gets on his walks, but he does love like puzzles. So loves to do those. You ever have your dogs do puzzles?
Yes. Now that you just did the hand gesture, I'm like, okay, got it
Yep.
now.
He loves his puzzles. But yeah, guys, check
Is he
him
on
out.
Golden Hugs?
He is at Golden Hugs.
He's 2 years old?
He's 2 years old. It sounds like, needs a household that's kind of pretty chill, that will expose him to
we're
more
out.
Takes out mine, takes out yours.
You and I are both out.
that will expose him to more things to
CBs
get him
would
over
work.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, my dad is pretty chill, but
Yes.
Sophie's not. Joe Edson's in the house.
Hey,
Hey, Joe.
Ding, 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 ding.
But yeah, that's my dog of the week.
All right. No shouts?
I
No soccer shout outs. You did them all last week.
Alyssa Nair officially had her last 2 games. Emma Hayes called her the best goalie that U.S. women's national
that.
team has ever had, which I can see the argument. Obviously, we know Hope Solo is
I'm sure
the GOAT.
somewhere she's fuming.
Listen,
Yeah, pretty much.
Listen, I'm a huge fan of Hope Solo.
Oh,
I
same.
think she's
Same.
one of the GOATs. But you can argue that Alyssa Nair played when there was more equity across women's soccer.
Agreed.
And so
Absolutely.
she went against much better competition.
Yes, I agree.
And she did it for many, many years. So, you can argue, there's arguments for that too.
Yeah.
Plus
she did it quietly. She was very under the radar
absolutely.
because, there were other stars that people talked about.
Yep.
So, unlike when Hope Solo played, she
Yeah.
was always in the spotlight
In the
for
news.
good and bad.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I'm going to give a shout out to Taylor Keel, who was just named the Times Argus Girls Soccer Player of the Year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, TK. Very proud of you. A couple of best things I've heard. Lamar Jackson's mom told him after the game that he wasn't playing to his strengths. My mama
Love
just
moms.
told me that, and she cussed me out. I love it.
Yep.
He is saying we're going to see a different Lamar, which I'm sorry, he's had a great season.
He
He's
has.
had a wonderful season.
He has, yes.
But maybe he runs it a little bit more. But you got Derrick Henry.
Right.
Mama, you got Derrick
Yeah.
Henry.
Feed
So
the
Mama
beast.
L-Jax, come on. You got to give your boy a little bit of credit here. This is a hole we've put ourselves in and made it a lot tougher. If we want to get out of it, we've got to do something special. Kyle Shanahan, coach of the San Francisco 49ers. What say you? What does he got to do special? Get a healthy team?
Yeah, he cannot control the health of his team.
Cannot control the health of his
I
team.
mean, they were
Just repeated
pathetic on Sunday night.
Very sad.
Very sad.
Very sad.
Like, I get the weather conditions. I totally understand 2 games back-to-back in cold weather, but wow. And
Yep.
when
Yep.
McCaffrey went down, everything you could just feel it.
Oh,
and
gosh.
you just knew it.
Seriously.
Shout out to Josh Allen, though, who had a passing, a rushing,
Right?
and a receiving touchdown.
That guy, you may as well give him the MVP right now.
That receiving touchdown was so sick.
It was awesome. I love that guy. He is officially, as of right now, my
Class.
new favorite player.
Class.
And congrats to
Class
him for just getting engaged.
Yeah. Yep.
Class act.
He is.
He is.
He really is.
He is.
And
He's
there's
awesome.
a lot, we talked about Lamar Jackson about a month ago, but that MVP room's getting very crowded.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Derrick Henry probably around the same time too, but Josh Allen, huge. Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Barkley.
Those 2 right now, yeah.
Barkley still barkleying. I love to see it.
On the flip side, Heisman Trophy winner, did that get solidified last weekend with Travis Hunter?
Oh, it's absolutely stupid that we're even that
should have
people
been-
are even
yeah.
debating it. How can you debate it?
I will give Ashton Genty
I agree.
a huge shout out.
Yes.
He is chasing history because I do believe it will be Barry Sanders' record he's chasing in college. I think he's like around 300 yards away.
What a record to
right?
chase.
I thought it was
And do I not have Barry Sanders right?
for career yards,
Yeah.
right? I thought it was the guy from Wisconsin,
Oh, I don't know.
Ron Dane. And then he
Really?
I could be totally
God, there's
wrong.
a name I haven't heard in a while.
I could be completely wrong, and Barry Sanders sounds more correct.
Here's
actually.
the worst thing I've heard, though. So Travis Hunter, who will probably get drafted as a cornerback, if he wants to play both sides of the ball in the NFL, I let him. I have packages
absolutely.
offensively. The kid had 10 catches for 100 and something
Yep.
yards, a touchdown, an interception.
Yep.
But they have, in college football, you obviously have the Heisman, but then you have the top linebacker, you have the top cornerback, you have the top running back, the Mackey Awards, it goes on and on. He is not even up for the best cornerback.
Which is ridiculous.
He's not even nominated.
Yeah.
I don't know the list, and I'm going to find that list, because how the hell is Travis Hunter not
Yeah, I don't
on
know.
as the best cornerback in college football? What the heck?
I just
almost
think
said hell heck. I'm going to be nice here, but
yes, I think
Come on.
Genty is having a great
outstanding
season.
year. Outstanding
But
year.
what puts Travis Hunter ahead of everybody is that he succeeds at both offense and defense.
100%.
He's not just mediocre at both.
That's not-
He's amazing at both.
And it's not heard of anymore to play
No.
both sides.
And he plays literally almost every snap. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And that's
Right.
impressive.
As I step back from college football, I do want to get in this first quarter. We named the show Check It At the Door, and Coach Danny Hurley, I am officially asking you to check it
Yep.
at the door. I don't understand what's happening. You're facing a little adversity. And can I first say before I go any further, huge fan.
Right.
I'm a huge fan of
Yes.
Coach Hurley. Huge fan. You've had back-to-back titles now. You got wined and dined and flirted with by the Los Angeles Lakers. So you are the hottest coach out there. The way he assesses players, that he gets the most out of them. I mean, he's a phenomenal coach. But the way he acted at the Maui Invitational
God.
is just unacceptable. Losing the first game to Memphis 99-97, it literally was the technical on him that cost them that game. Turned around the next night, lost to Colorado 73-72, and topped it off 2 nights later by losing to Dayton 85-67. So when you get to that third game, do you think his players are mentally
Right.
exhausted?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
I've been around it a lot. They've got to be.
They have
Yeah.
to be, especially losing 2 very close games. It wasn't like they were.
Some of the quotes that I was reading from Hurley himself, he called the officiating a joke. I'm there, I watched it. There was a player on Memphis that made a half-ass effort to rebound the basketball, and Liam McNeely high-pointed the rebound. For that call to be made at that point of the game was a complete joke. Talking more about the offensive foul, he added, I think it was a bleep bleep call. I would expect to come to play in an event, and I don't know too many back-to-back national championship teams that got that type of whistle.
Oh my, he's being a baby.
That's being a baby.
Yes.
So Robbie Hummel, who I love this player at Purdue, he has his own podcast called The Field of 68, which I kind of like that name. So he unleashed some critical thoughts on the behavior of Dan Hurley, calling his actions during the Maui Invitational completely embarrassing. Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
For those who missed it, Hurley was whistled for a technical foul late against Memphis, which ultimately cost UConn the game. The seventh-year leader of the Huskies blew a gasket after a bad over-the-back call, or push foul, I would call it. He did have to be restrained by his coaching staff as well. After yelling at the officials constantly, Hurley was assessed a technical foul, and that's how they lost. In the podcast, Hummel sounded off on Hurley's actions. We need to talk about Hurley's behavior. Honestly, for a coach of his caliber, it is embarrassing. Mm-hmm. He is so much above this with the way he can coach and his pedigree and his record. And to act that way, he can say whatever he wants the first game. It's a tie game, and you get a technical, and that costs your team the game. During the Maui Invitational, Hurley was on notice more than his team for criticizing officials, trespassing bench decorum, and post-match outbursts over refereeing decisions. His behavior was then called out by fans and popular analyst Jeff Goodman, you got to listen to what Goodman said here. He explains why Hurley keeps on continuing his embarrassing behavior. On the episode of The Field of 68 After Dark, Goodman joined Robbie Hummel to talk about Hurley's behavior. Goodman was furious with Hurley and revealed why the referees didn't take any action against the UConn coach for his sideline antics, other than the one technical in that first game. The Huskies are a major team in the Big East. We know that, back-to-back champs. Refs don't want to lose games by going against Hurley. Let that just resonate a little bit. And this is Goodman talking. I get that, but like every ref out there is thinking, man, if I toss him, now it's a story.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm the story. I'm inserting myself in the game, and they don't want that. But like when he's berating them every call, it is every call that is just insane to watch. And that was actually Robbie Hummel that said that. So what say you guys about the actions of Coach Hurley? I get that he's a national championship coach back to back. If you're a ref, are you feeling that way? Like, I don't want to be the story?
Yeah. Well, real quick, Joe said a couple of things. He said, played like a high school team, 49ers. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
He is the best player in college football, Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And then he says, he's supposed to be the leader, not the ass.
Right.
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 Well,
I like it.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like he's gotten too big for his britches.
I do think that as well.
I think that's what it is,
He
to be
needs
honest.
to check it at the door. He needs to fit his ego into the gym. I watched some of the highlights. I mean, I know I read a lot there, and it's a lot to take in, but every time I was reading something, I'm like, oh, that's a great point. Oh,
Right.
that's a great point.
Right.
But, with the poor officials being berated, because they are.
Yeah.
They're being berated during the game and after the game. And for him to just say that, thought they would get better whistles being the back to... I've never, ever, ever, ever heard a college coach, high school coach, NBA coach, I've never heard any coach say that.
And would he have said that if they had won those close games? Would
Right.
he still have said,
Right.
would he still have questioned the officiating?
Right.
It's like, take accountability, your team lost.
You're facing some adversity.
Right,
For the first time.
Like,
For the
build
first
your
time.
team up, don't make excuses for them.
Right.
Like, what is that teaching them also? So, like...
And these were all, and so UConn went from number 2 in the polls to 25.
As they should.
they probably should have fallen out.
I
of the
agree.
polls
I mean,
with 3 losses, but
that's
we
where the
talked-
back-to-back championship comes in.
Yeah, that
to
is,
play.
and
Yeah.
that's where it's coming in college
Yes,
football.
I was
as
just
well.
gonna say that.
So
Yeah.
we're going to
Yep.
digress down that road, but it's upsetting to a lot of fans. It's upsetting to podcast viewers, analysts, you name it. And I hope he does change his way, because when you look at the scores of those games, the worst defeat was the 3rd game against Dayton. And I think his players were mentally drained at that point.
Yeah.
There is no doubt this guy can coach. He can freaking coach like it's nobody's business. But don't get too big for your britches.
Right.
Yeah.
And check it at the door.
Yep.
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 Yeah. I mean, even in real life, you have those people where they're just exhausting to be around.
Yep. Yep.
And you're like,
Right.
And when he's being held back by the coaches, look it up if you haven't seen it. They're embarrassed too.
Oh, I'm sure.
You can tell. I'm sorry, but as a player, if I turned around and saw my coach acting the way he's acting, I don't know.
Yeah.
I might ask him to hold himself
Yeah.
accountable, because we are.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You're a leader of men.
Joe says not only in college sports, but the refs are being blamed for a lot this
Yes,
year.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Seems like it's even worse. And like
Oh, there goes that great truck with all the Christmas lights on it. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
and then there's just been like all these brawls and unsportsmanlike
Yep.
conduct.
Yep.
It's like the refs have to do something.
Right.
So now leads us into college football. Did anybody watch college football this past weekend? First of all, I know Michigan should not have done what they did.
I agree. I agree. Yes. Act like you've been there before, guys.
Yeah, act like you've been.
Come on.
You are the defending champs.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
I mean, no one has stopped and said that. Guess what, Michigan? Know you're in a rebuild.
Right.
Know your coach is in the NFL. Know half your team went to the NFL as well. But you're the defending champs. Yes, you were favored to lose. What were they?
20 something.
20.5.
Yeah.
Ohio State was favored.
Yep.
Ohio State's the number 2 team in the country. Michigan's not even in the top 25. But you still don't do that.
No.
Right.
No, you do
I
not.
don't know how many people, like myself, I just went,
Yep.
is this really happening? This
Right.
is really happening.
Right.
Oh my God. And then the pepper spray came out. I have not seen that yet.
I haven't seen it. No.
wild.
No, meaning
No.
I have
Yeah.
not seen a cop have to use that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
No,
going,
I haven't even.
what-
Didn't even.
Where are we at right now?
Yeah.
And shame on you, Coach Day. I don't know. I know later you said that there was no reason for that. You were disgusted. But he's literally just standing there.
Yeah.
Pissed, but not doing anything.
Right.
I will give Michigan coaching staff credit on trying to separate. Don't blame the Ohio State player that tore the flag up. Then I heard, but I haven't seen, that it almost happened again in Florida State later that night. And then in the
Texas. Yeah, it almost
Yep.
happened in Texas.
Yep.
Texas.
they were
A&M.
roaming
Yep.
towards midfield,
Yep.
and thank God for Coach Sarkisian. He just kind of went, nope, get
Yep.
off the field.
Yep.
You can celebrate, get off the field.
Right.
Because those are rivalry games,
Yeah.
Texas A&M, Florida
Right.
State.
Right.
No worse blood than Ohio State, Michigan.
No.
No worse. But, Wheels, I'm going to ask you to just quote Booger McFarland. Wasn't it you that told me that he said,
Well,
just win the game?
just yeah. So, and he also said, "Booger's like, I don't even know why you like. It's AstroTurf. You're not sticking a flag in anything. Like, what are you doing?" So it's so true. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going in there.
Nope.
But just play. I hate that. I hate that behavior. Like, you just had a huge upset
Yep.
against
Yep.
your arch rival. Like,
Yep.
nobody thought you had a chance in the world.
Yep.
None.
Like,
None.
just.
Don't be trash.
And no one's talking about that.
Don't be
That's what's
trash.
sad.
I like
is
that,
now no
CB.
one's talking about your huge upset. They're talking about this fight and
Right.
all of this. So it takes away.
Joe,
from-
Joe says the Michigan football team Saturday. I was a big Michigan fan, but it was disrespectful to place your flag in the home team field.
yes, agreed.
And Booger did say, Ohio State, just go take care of business.
Yeah.
Go win the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you were at home.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
were favored by, let's just call it 21.
Yep.
Yep.
You're playing an unranked Michigan team. And now Coach Ryan Day is 1-4 against Michigan.
Which is crazy.
1-4.
Yeah.
against other Big Ten teams since he's become the head coach. He's 47-1.
Oh
Right?
my gosh.
But he's 1-4 against
Yeah.
Michigan. So I ask you guys this. Does he have to win the national championship to keep his job after this year?
I'd love to. This is tough because I feel like college football and the NFL are completely different as far as how far your coaches are allowed to go. Because if we're still talking that Mike McCarthy is still going to come back next year, effing anything is possible.
Yeah, listen.
So I don't even want, like, people.
Listen, last week, my best thing I heard was Jerry Jones saying he might give him an extension.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, they're all
That
talking
is
today
wild.
on Get Up that, yep, he should come back. He should come back.
Really?
Yep.
Get up on
Why?
that?
Yeah.
Why?
Greeny and the crew thought
Yep.
that? Now I'm disappointed in them.
Yep. I'm like, if that can happen, then anything can
dang.
happen. But
They'll just give anyone a job.
Right?
exactly. So
Wow.
I don't know. I know that for schools like Ohio State, it's all about Michigan. Like,
It is.
Yep.
you got to be
it
Michigan.
seriously is.
Like, that's just the way it is. I don't know. I'm on the fence on that one, I think.
Wheels and I watched the end of the Syracuse-Miami game.
Oh my God, so good.
And I knew Wheels wanted Syracuse, and I kind of did
Yes.
too, but I wanted Miami because I don't want Alabama, nor do I think Alabama should be
No.
in the CFP.
They definitely
So
should not.
Syracuse upsets Miami, and it's a very good Syracuse
Very
team.
good to Syracuse.
We're not talking about Alabama losing to 6-6 Vanderbilt. We're not talking about Alabama losing to unranked Oklahoma 24-3.
Right.
We're talking about a Syracuse team that now has won 9 games, 8
Yeah.
games, 8 or 9 games. So how does Miami go from 4 to 13?
Right. But Alabama sneaks in.
But as I watched it, because I said, this isn't going to happen, it can't happen, it's not going to happen. And as I watched the top 25 unveiling, I went, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
You can't go from 4 to 12.
No, absolutely
So-
not. I don't understand. Alabama is getting in on merit alone
Right,
because they're Alabama.
right. I don't get it. And they're the one team with 3 losses.
Yep.
Or are they the highest ranked team with 3
3 losses. Yep.
So Miami has 2, right?
Yes.
2?
2.
And again, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma.
Right.
But then they look at the body of who Alabama beat. And Miami's strength of schedule is not quite there with Alabama's, but I still can't. I still can't.
No.
After that loss to Oklahoma 24-3, I'm like, done.
Yep.
Alabama's
Yep.
done.
Yep.
100% done. I don't understand it, and it's the name.
It's 100% the name.
And so it just mesmerizes and melts right into Coach Hurley.
Yep.
And us talking about Connecticut and the name on the front of the jersey and not what's really happening.
Right.
Joe
And-
says Deion Sanders. I don't know what he's referring to, though.
Well, does he want Deion Sanders at Ohio State?
Oh, as the Cowboy coach, probably.
Or as the Cowboy
Oh.
coach?
As my guess.
Come on, I liked mine more, Ohio State.
Could you imagine?
You know, Joe, I don't think, I read an article where Coach Prime said, I don't want to coach men that aren't earning their paycheck. And I love that quote by Coach Prime.
There's also not enough room in their stadium for Jerry Jones and his ego.
And it's
And
like
Deion's ego. So,
half the Cowboy fans want Bill Belichick, but can Bill Belichick and Jerry Jones
No.
coexist?
No,
No.
not at all.
So you guys might just see Mike McCarthy get an
yeah,
extension
I
at
think
the
he's
end.
gonna.
I mean, if they go on a run, they're on a run.
Yeah.
They're on a run. They won 2 in a row.
Right. Yes.
they're on a
yes, on a run.
And Coach Prime, I said it last week. I don't know if it was Bryce Underwood. I'm going to get the name right. The #1 recruit flipped
Yes.
to Colorado.
Yep.
And
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
He's got his quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going
You don't think
I don't
leaving?
think he is either.
he's building a little powerhouse there.
Joe also says, well, he says fair point on that point. And then he also says, who the hell is picking these rankings?
Right?
That's what I want to know.
You know, and now I shouldn't say this, I should bite my tongue till it bleeds, but in that board where they do this every week, how old are these people?
Yeah.
Do they think that, oh gosh, now the name is, it left my brain. I think they're looking back at Alabama in the 70s. Bear Bryant.
Bear
She's
Bryant,
some
yes.
pro. God, Lori, that was awful. I think they still think Bear Bryant's roaming the sidelines.
Yep.
They changed this to a 12-team playoff. You can't have teams with 3 losses.
No.
And 2 of them against unranked opponents.
Yep.
6
And you
6
scored 3
Vanderbilt.
points against one of them.
And you scored 3 against Oklahoma.
Like Paul Feinbaum is
Oh, love
literally
him.
in love with Alabama.
Oh, now I don't love him.
Yeah, literally today he could not say enough about how they deserve to be there.
That disappoints me because I did not
Makes no
expect
sense.
that from him.
I'm
I
like,
really did
what?
not expect that.
I don't agree with it. I think it's crap.
Make
But-
it make sense, people. Make it
Actually,
make sense.
I had that wrong. Underwood was the #1 overall recruit. He flipped from LSU to Michigan.
Wow.
So you know what, Ohio State, you really should have taken care of business this year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's going to get. And Miami, shame on you. You did lose to a really good team, though. The shame on you comes, you were up 21
Yes.
to nothing. And then I think you put it in neutral and
Yes,
took
I
your foot off
hate
the
when
gas.
teams do that. I hate it.
And when we
Why
get
do that?
Why? Oh, it's 21 to nothing. It's too easy. There's 4 quarters.
I hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
In that Michigan, Ohio State, both schools have been fined $100,000.
oh, good.
So
Joe says, easy, Lori, for on older people than us.
I know, Joe. I don't know. And here now you have to go to these silly scenarios, and I don't even remember them now. But SMU is playing Clemson in their conference championship, and how does this have to play out? Alabama has to hope that SMU wins.
Yes.
Because SMU, no matter what, I think is in the CFP. If Clemson wins, then it becomes a CF.
Right. Yeah, it does. A huge CF.
And Clemson would then be in. SMU's already in. And heaven forbid, that might knock Alabama out. But some of the teams playing their best ball, and I'm going to keep pounding the table for South Carolina, don't even have a prayer.
No. Nope.
Arizona State, I think they're going to squeeze in. But some of these teams playing, and when I say their best ball the last month of the season, they belong in the CFP, the top 12.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hope no one plays this back if Alabama goes on to win the national championship. Because it very well could happen.
Oh.
I think the hottest team right
You
now,
reverse
and
podcast
I don't
jinx
want to
them.
podcast jinx them, but they have an Irishman on their sideline.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
That's the hottest team right
Yeah.
now. And in Oregon. I can't take anything away from the Ducks. I really just can't. Do you guys want to talk about El Shaher, Aziz? We can go Aziz.
I mean,
What a dick.
He's
yeah.
appealing. Look at that. See, and then CB uses that language. Woo!
right?
Appealing his 3-game suspension for almost decapitating Trevor Lawrence.
Right. Literally.
What a dick.
And I get the coach is sticking up for his guy. I get it.
Right.
I'm a coach. I
No.
get it.
No, you keep
But
your
I
players
don't get
accountable.
it.
You keep your players accountable. You don't stick up
Thank
for
you.
behavior like that.
I mean,
Absolutely
it
not.
was clear.
Thank you for going toe to toe with me
Yeah,
because I'm trying to look at the coach's side, but I'm like,
No.
no, I don't get it. You almost decapitated this young man.
And it's just like football is dangerous enough.
Right.
And in the end,
Absolutely.
like the average span of a football player's career is like 3 to 5 years because it's so hard on your body.
Yep.
In the end, you're all just wanting to be able to play another game.
Right.
To put someone else at risk like that, where he immediately goes into a fencing position.
Immediate.
That was my next thing.
Immediately goes into a fencing
CB,
position.
fencing position came immediately.
And it's just
Immediately.
like, that's just so
Immediately.
unnecessary.
And God bless his players, his guys. have
17.
attacked, except that the fight almost landed on top
Well,
of him.
that's what I was going to say. That
Yeah.
whole scrum, like one of his players actually kicked him in the helmet.
Oh, geez.
Like if you watch it over enough, it's like, okay, I get it. You're totally sticking up for your boy, but you guys, he's literally laying there unconscious. Like,
Yep.
how about we move it?
Yep.
Literally
That's
just
all
had
I
a
could
drink.
think of when I saw it. I'm like, oh
Just
my
move
God.
it over a
There's gonna
little
be like
bit.
a couple of offensive tackles that are going to land
Yeah.
on him.
Yep.
That's all.
I'm like, what is happening?
Thank you, CB, for going toe to toe because that's what I want. And how dare you appeal your 3
He
games?
deserves it. He deserves it
100%.
because
Yeah.
it's not his first offense.
And even Nick Casario, the GM of the Texans, said it's BS. And I'm like, Are
For
you
what?
kidding me? That he got a 3-game suspension. You know what I say? You're lucky you did not get
Suspended for the
suspended
year.
for the season.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like
An
shout out for
organization that's going to the playoffs.
shout out for the NFL actually making a decision to keep players
Right.
healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Right.
a lot of their decisions for safety don't make sense.
No.
Right.
But at least finally you do something.
I tell you, we could go on
I know.
Yeah.
till the sun comes back up about this. What we're going to do right now, though, is we're going to take a quick 30-second. It's like a 30-second timeout. We're going to flash a picture up on the screen. And when we come back, maybe that person on the screen will be sitting here with us.
We
Give
can't
us 30.
we can't do that. We'll do something else.
Oh.
But we'll bring the picture back.
CB, all right.
Well, you have to talk to me about these things before you just throw things out there.
Do we have the picture?
We do have the picture.
Okay, all right, all right.
I'll
Sorry, our first day.
CB is feisty tonight. I love
It's our
it.
first day.
Can I do the 30-second timeout?
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
30 seconds.
Nick, you can. We're
Now we are.
Wow.
Nick is
Just for
never
that.
going to
Just
come on
for
our
that.
show again.
I think
for that,
CB
Lori.
needs some more chocolate.
I do need some sugar. Where's some sugar? Throw it at me.
Are we back on the screen?
Yes, we are.
CB needs some sugar to make her sweet over there.
Nick Massetti, I am so sorry that you walked into this.
You know those Snickers commercial?
Yes.
Remember the one with Betty White
Yes.
on the Super
No.
Bowl?
That was the best one. That's you.
I just need some Snickers.
Do you want some candy?
I'm all set for right now.
All right.
you.
Okay,
Season,
Nick.
season.
We'll see how
Nick,
we progress.
Thank you for joining us, first of all. We will get back on track. I'm in obviously a lot of trouble here. Nick Massetti Jr. on the Williamstown boys basketball team. Thank you for joining. How's the first week going?
Well,
Is it tryouts all week? 3 days, 2 days, no tryouts? How's it work at Williamstown?
first practice was tonight for varsity.
Okay.
We had tryouts Monday and Tuesday.
So didn't we at Spalding? Like it. How'd it go?
It was, well, first off, new coach Sid.
Yep.
New,
that's right.
new
coach.
style.
Yep.
Knew everything, got to adjust to it. Honestly, a lot less running than I expected out of Sid.
I hope he's not listening.
I hope
I
he's
better
not.
hope he's not
Sid.
listening.
Hope he's not going to jinx us.
Oh, I bet you he is, though.
We're going to. We're going to run a lot, and I'm excited for that this year.
Any scrimmages coming up this week or no, not this week?
Yep, we have two Tuesday and Thursday, and then we have the first game Saturday.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
Guess what? I will be at your
You're going
first
to be
game.
commentating that.
Wait, can we do that one more time? How big are your
Yeah,
hands?
look
though?
at those hands.
Nick! What is happening? Oh, and
Those are like two of mine.
see that, Wheels?
Look at this.
Wow. Oh, shoot.
That is sad.
We should have had a basketball on
sad.
the set just to watch him palm it.
Palm
Yeah, I
with
was
two
just gonna
hands,
say, you
or
must have 2 fingers.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive.
Wow, okay, I got to get back on course here. Watched you at the Odd last year. Because I roamed the Spalding sidelines for quite a bit with Coach McCauley, she lets me. Didn't really get to see you guys until the Odd last year. So fun watching you. And I will read the papers, so I might have been reading a lot about Evan. You stuck out to me right off the bat. I might have talked about you a little bit too much too, but I was like, this kid's only a sophomore. And Bright Lights, Very Odd, it's Bright Lights. It's a little different at the Very Odd.
Yeah.
Every team in Vermont and in any state is good, but I'm just going to talk Vermont. Your goal is to get to the Odd. Do you guys mention it at all in the first practice today or the first 3 days? Does anybody say the Odd?
Sid,
Does the word come out?
Sid mentioned it a few times. But
Attaboy, Sid.
what he was really trying to drill in to all of us was, you can't get there unless you play all 20 games. You have to get there to actually be there. You know what I mean?
You spent a lot of time at the Odd as well.
Yeah. He's 25 plus years at
Yeah.
Williamstown. Such
Yeah.
a seasoned guy. Couldn't have asked for a better
Nice.
replacement head coach.
Nice.
He has that tough love, that's for sure.
He does.
But
That's what you
he's
need.
always number one supporter.
Do you see how red this wrapper is? That will be Sid's face a lot this year. Okay. And when I say that, it's his passion. But there are times where I look down and I go, oh, well, there goes the face again. And guess what? I've been there plenty of times back in the day. Some of my favorite games as a coach at Northfield for 15 years was coaching against Sid Sweet, Coach Sid. Heated rivalry back in the day was Northfield and Williamstown. Heated. But now I digress and I don't want to talk about me. Last year, Danville, number 1 seed, Grace Christian 2, West Rutland, and then you guys were the 4th seed. How'd you feel in that game against Danville? Going in, what was your mindset? Was it they're the 1 seed or we can beat this team? Because you had lost to them twice,
Yeah,
right?
that was actually exactly what I was going to say. I went into that game, I was like, we've lost to them 2 times. I do not want to lose a 3rd time.
Right.
It's always hard to beat a team.
3
times.
It really is. 3
Yes.
losses to Danville. Some of the other losses last year, you guys play up Division III schedule, which I love that. Strength of schedule is important. Hazen and Thetford Academy. And I say that because that 12-14 game is Thetford Academy.
First
Oh,
game
wow.
against Thetford.
Oh, wow.
How do you feel about that one?
I'm really excited.
Don't you love a game like that?
Yeah,
Right out of
coming
the
back
chute?
after that was a tough one last year.
Yeah.
we were in it for a long time. It was early season. There was a lot of jitters at an away gym.
Yes.
I'm
True.
excited for them to come to us and
Yep.
we can show them what we're all about this year.
That's a 3:30 tip, I believe.
Correct.
So everybody put that in your notes. 3:30 tip, Williamstown High School. CVT Sports will be there as well. You have
Yeah, Joe says Sid is an awesome coach. He also says, Nick, make sure Cooper does his part for the team.
Cooper
And
doesn't
then
what?
Cooper does his,
His part for the
Cooper
team.
does his part. Okay. My hearing's real good.
And then I'm
tonight,
guessing
too.
your dad says Sid coached both of Nick's sisters in the past.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Come full circle.
Yeah, right?
And a big shout out to your dad for posting on Facebook today. That was wonderful. Thank you very much, Paul. Give us. Okay, I'm really gonna put you on the spot now.
Okay.
Nick. Give us your. And Sid, don't get mad at him for doing this. Give us your top 4. I'm not saying odd. Just give us right now preseason top 4 teams in Division 4.
Top 4 teams.
Yeah.
Well,
Now Grace Christian graduated some players.
they
correct?
did, but I have no idea how much of this true. How much what I'm about to say is true. But there's speculation they got a couple more big guys.
Oh, really?
That's what I've
We're
heard.
first
What are
tier,
they, import
guys.
them?
I
I
do
probably
not know.
could get in trouble for saying that, and I'm just kidding. All right, so they could be in the mix.
They could. You got to go with my guys. I think if we live up to our potential this year, we could be absolutely the 1 seed going into playoffs.
I love that.
That's
I love
awesome.
that.
Danville. How do we feel about Danville this year?
Danville's going to be in the top 4, 100%.
Okay.
They're either going to be 2 or 3,
Okay.
and West Rutland's going to be
That was my next one.
Danville and West Rutland are interchangeable for me.
Gotcha.
It all depends on how tough their schedules are because we play in different divisions.
Those
West
teams are good
Rutland-
down there in West Rutland, aren't
They
they?
always are.
The girls' team is good.
Young team
Real
last
good.
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell you what, those girls.
Yeah, that
West
girls'
Rutland
team is
girls,
wow.
And they're probably still ticked off that they lost the soccer championship because they're undefeated.
Yep.
Okay. I have to give a little props to Richford again there. So it could look the same as last year. It could.
Good. Same
Do you have a
4 teams.
surprise team in the back of your head where you're like can't fall asleep on? And I'm going to look at your schedule here.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with something that Marcus Thornton said to me and my dad.
Love Coach Thornton. Give him a
Think-
shout out too.
You can't sleep on Twinfield.
I had a feeling you were going to say Twinfield.
I have AAU teammate on there, Tej, great guy, great player, and
Okay.
they have 9 juniors.
Oh,
this year.
Okay, so a
Wow.
seasoned team
Yeah.
as
They're,
well.
Yeah.
they're very seasoned.
Yeah.
They're quick. They can shoot really good, and you can't sleep on them.
Can I ask a prediction in Division 3?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No, I want your prediction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's hear it from me.
Yeah, let's hear it from you. Are we going Hazen, or do we think Hazen doesn't have a down year?
No, they never do.
No.
Aaron always gets the best out of
Yep.
those players.
Do we think they're right back at the top?
I think they could.
I
I really
just-
think they could.
I'm looking at the schedule here, and I don't know much about Winooski this year. I love watching Hazen play. They're so well coached, and I'm just trying to think who's gonna knock off Hazen and who won it last year. Because I'm remiss right now.
Thetford.
It was
did,
Thetford.
yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Because I'm like, I know Hazen didn't, but oh yes, it was that second half. That
Yes.
Yeah, they
now
came
it's
back.
coming back to
Yep.
me. Thank you for the refresher. That was some basketball
Yeah.
that Thetford played in that,
That
second
was
half.
a good game.
And what's the kid? He graduated from Thetford last year.
Mitchell Parkman. I
Oh
think is
boy,
who you're
did he
thinking
have a
of.
second half.
Yeah.
He was a beast. He was a beast out
really
there. He
was.
really was. Talk to me about your team. You are now a seasoned old man on the team,
Right?
as a junior.
An older guy.
Evan Bailey, senior this year, right?
Yep.
Talk to me about some other players on the team.
Oh,
Give me some shout outs other than you and Evan.
Other shout outs, I think it stems back to individual work in the off season.
Absolutely. You got to put the work in.
I saw so much of it with Alex Clark.
Okay.
He really stepped up his game.
Break these players down.
And what year is he?
He's a sophomore. this
Sophomore.
year.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Another sophomore, Keaton Hall.
Keaton Hall.
Yeah. He was on JV last year, and he
Okay.
came back to tryouts this year with vengeance.
And both of
Awesome.
these young men are sophomores?
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Another plug would have to be we have a player who didn't play last year
Okay.
because of some school stuff. Not like he wasn't failing classes. He
Mm-hmm. Right,
just had.
right.
His name is Ronan Kate.
Okay.
Such a good shooter. He's,
Really?
He's a very good shooter. He knows what he's doing. He's a senior this year.
Nice.
And that's going to help me on December 14th in my pregame, too.
Exactly.
Senior shooter. Okay.
And I can't leave out Colby, my other big Colby Lagner.
Is he
I
a
do
junior?
remember watching
he's
Kobe
mine.
Wagner
Okay.
last year.
He's such
So
a
another
presence.
junior.
So any seniors on your team this year?
Yeah, we
Evan.
have four.
4 besides
Yeah,
Evan.
name the other
besides
name the
Evan.
other three other than
So
Evan.
we have Evan,
Yep.
Liam Hebert,
Okay.
huge hustle guy, big energy.
Write him down too. I
might-
love the hustle guys. Come
Yeah.
on.
He might spend more time on the floor than he does upright.
So floor burns
Every team
is his
needs
game.
needs
Yeah.
a player like that,
Yeah.
though.
Exactly.
Floor
Yeah,
burns is
for
his
sure.
game. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
We have Carter Smith.
Okay.
He's another big hustle guy.
Okay.
And he's really big into accepting his role.
That's so important.
yeah,
I
that's
feel.
exactly what
and,
everybody
absolutely.
needs.
and in high school,
is.
you don't see that a lot.
No.
But that's what separates the good teams from the great teams.
Right.
Is
Exactly.
that you have players that do accept their roles.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
You have to have that supporting cast.
Yep.
You have to.
Yep. And the last one is Ronan, as I mentioned before.
Okay. Awesome. So a very well balanced team, a very deep team.
Yep.
Which you guys gonna press this year, or do you not want to say
Uh-oh.
it here? Is Sid gonna get mad if you?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna leave that one out. Sorry, coach. We're just gonna we're not gonna let anything out of the bag here in case Thetford is watching.
What I will say is, the lights are pretty bright for us this year.
Yes, they are.
But there's not a doubt in my mind that we can get exactly back where we were last year and even further.
And I'm going to use an old term. I love your confidence. Pit in the belly, is it still burning when you walk off that Barryod floor? Does it stay with you all off season?
It has. It genuinely has so much more than I could ever describe to you.
Yep. You just want that ball in your hands and you're ready to go.
It was the lights. They were. I keep using that phrase, but
That's
they were,
all right.
That's fine.
A lot of bright lights here too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they are shining.
the lights. They were really bright. We had nobody on that team had ever played in the Odd
Yep.
before. We had a bunch of freshmen,
Wow.
but I'm so thankful for all the resources that I have in my life. My Aunt Sarah up at Newport.
Yep.
I talked
Let's
so
give
much
Coach
with
Roy
her.
a little ding 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 there. She's got to be watching you.
I talked
Unless
so
she's out
much.
of practice.
I talked so much with her and her experience
Awesome.
there.
Awesome.
My cousin Mitchell over in D1 New Hampshire this
Oh,
year.
wow.
He gave me some good pointers on how to cope with it. All the guys at GMS
Yep,
too.
yep,
Marcus Thornton,
yep.
Kyle and Ryan Booth.
Yep.
So thankful for them.
Kyle and Ryan, there's a good. You are giving some good shout outs.
You really are.
God.
Yes.
Boy, they're going
Got
to
it.
owe you big time. But it's like 10 minutes ago, I said it's just a different animal at the odd. You step onto that floor and it's like, wow.
You know, you prepare for it, but
Yeah.
you don't get a taste until that first
Yeah.
that first minute
Yep.
is really
I feel like nothing can prepare you for how it actually feels.
Exactly.
Because even as just a fan going to watch, it's so different.
Yeah.
Like, so I can only imagine. I unfortunately never made it there, but it was always
Neither did
my
I.
dream. But I have gone to watch teams, to watch Spalding. My alma mater, Otter Valley, made it last year. It's just different
Yep.
atmosphere just as a fan to watch it.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how it felt for you guys. And Williamstown has such a rich history
The tradition,
too.
yeah.
When I moved back to Vermont, and I have lived in a million zip codes in Vermont, but it's always been the Williamstown boys basketball. You got to see the Williamstown boys basketball, and it's
Exactly.
and it's just been, that's all I've ever heard about is the history of your high school and the boys basketball program. So it sounds like it's in good hands and it's coming back. And
It's right there. It always
Yeah.
has been. To get a parking spot there, I may have to go at noon.
yes.
Or Carl Parton needs to get a special parking. Maybe Sid will get me a spot.
if you talk to him, he probably would.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's watching right now. Okay? I'm gonna say a few words. I'm gonna say defensive wizard, and you tell me the first person that pops into your head on your team. Okay.
my team.
We're gonna save that one now. Non-stop motor.
Liam Hebert,
You're gonna
100%.
say that.
His goal at the end of every practice and every game is to not have a voice. with how
Oh
much
my
he's
God,
out.
I love that.
And
See, and you have a great supporting cast. You guys have now been there. You know, I'm going to use your term. The bright lights are
Yep.
very much on you. But you guys are all in it together. You have your supporting cast. You have Liam, who's just going to keep yelling until he has no voice. As a coach, you love that. That's what you love. Because your leaders are an extension of your coaching staff out there. You have nonstop motor guys like that. It makes life so much easier for the coaches as well. Glass eater.
Glass eater, like rebounds.
Yeah. That's another old term.
I-
I will never lose that though.
If I can't say myself in this,
You can say
You can.
yourself. We're going to put Nick
it's all right
down
to have
there.
that confidence.
that's one of the things that I really want to hone in on this year.
Got it.
I was lacking confidence last year. Which, I was first 2 years. You can
Yep.
build that.
Yep.
These next 2 years are the years to step it up.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm glad I've realized it, and I know what I need to work on and
Yep.
just get better
You
at.
are a smart young man. I don't know if this is going to be Liam. And this is one of my sayings again, like Glass Eater. Lunch pail mentality. The meaning of that, in my view, is they come, they work their tail off. They may not be in the stat sheet, but there's so many little things they do. And I think are you going to go back to Liam?
I'd say Carter Smith, one of
Okay.
the seniors.
Okay.
He's the guy that accepts his role, but
Yep.
every time he's on the court at practice or in a game, anything, he wants to get better.
Yep.
And that's exactly what he's been doing, been
Yep.
showing so far, and I know
Awesome.
he'll continue to do that.
And I love that lunch pail mentality. They come to work every day and they work their tail off. And they might not, they may give you 4 to 6 points some nights or 4
Right.
to 6 rebounds, but you're watching them and you're talking about them as somebody just, broadcasting a game. You're talking because they're making a difference for you guys out there. Defensive wizard, I'm going to go back to that.
Defensive wizard. I'd probably go with another sophomore. His name's Chris Collins.
Okay.
He's a little bit quieter, but he has a motor. It never stops, man.
Is he quiet because he's a sophomore?
Probably.
I'm telling you,
Probably.
freshmen, sophomores, you guys are quiet. And then, like you said, then it's time to step up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're going to love this one. Down by 1, 4 seconds on the clock, state championship on the line. Who takes the last shot?
Down by, oh boy,
Yep, just down by 1. You don't need a 3.
just down by one.
You're down by 1.
Which your answer could change halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm just putting you on the
yeah.
spot.
So right now,
I think based off where we are right now, I'm gonna give it to Evan.
Okay.
I don't know how he does it, man. I'll contest a shot. He'll tell me he can't even see the rim. He can't even see it when I.
Well,
when I
yes.
put
If
my
you're
hands up.
closing out and contesting, how can he see?
Yeah.
And he'll put it a swish back rim. Won't even move the net.
How tall are you?
I am 6'5" without shoes on and 6'6" with them on.
How tall is Evan?
Evan is about 5'11".
Exactly.
And not to mention, I have a 7-foot wingspan.
Right.
I was
I
like,
was just going to say, yeah.
yes, you have to have.
Yeah.
I literally wouldn't be able to see anything.
I
literally nothing.
I'm
I'd
right
be
there
like,
with you.
Here. I don't even know where we are. I don't even know where the basket is.
I would
Take
go
it.
under his leg.
how does he hit those shots over you?
He puts,
How?
that kid puts
It's
in
the
more
shooter
work.
stroke. It's the
is.
Steph
Yeah.
Curry mentality.
is, yeah.
Repetitions, muscle memory.
He puts in more work than I think I've ever seen anyone do in my entire
Wow.
life.
Wow.
Outside of the game.
Yeah, if you're
during
contesting
practice,
against me, I'm just going to cry.
Yeah, same.
I'm sorry, you were saying.
I just he's a very quiet guy,
Okay.
but oh my, he's so deadly on a basketball court.
He is.
Silent,
He
but
very much is.
silent but deadly.
I became friends with him probably when I was around 10 years old.
Right.
And I saw how good he was at basketball, and I was like, I want to
And you're
be
like,
on that
that's
level.
somebody I'm going to hang with.
Yeah.
Yep. Who's more vocal? Who's the most vocal person other than Liam on the court?
Definitely me. And
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a wide margin purely because Liam never shuts up.
So you don't get a lot of opportunities, is what you're saying.
Liam is always he's either screaming, he's shouting orders, he's always saying something, and that's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Even on the
Oh, that's
sideline.
fabulous.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, now I can't wait to see Liam.
I have a bunch of comments. Can I go
Yeah,
through them?
yeah, go.
So Michael Bailey says Randolph D3 sleeper team.
Okay.
Nick seed 1 absolutely agreed D4.
Yes.
Joe says watch out for the team from Orford, New Hampshire.
Oh, that's Rivendell?
Rivendell. I think.
Yeah, that's Rivendell.
He says Joe also says I get that way every time I watch a high school basketball game there. I'm guessing it's the odd.
Yes.
Sid's in the house.
Hi, Sid.
He says he's got some inside deets for you. He says, Nick, very well spoken. I agree.
Very well.
Lori, you will see an up-tempo pace. Pressing will probably happen at some point. So you got the inside. And Michael Bailey says Evan actually made 6 foot.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey, that's important.
Yeah,
that's
Oh
important.
my God, I love that. Thank you, Coach Sid. I'm glad you're in the house too, and I can't wait to see you on the 14th. God, Sid and I go way back.
Sid,
We
get
really
Lori
do.
a parking spot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
There we go.
I need a parking spot because I'm gonna have to park at the bottom and walk up. You know, and I'm very excited because it's been quite a while since I actually called a game at Williamstown, and I'm hoping the girls' Spalding basketball schedule doesn't conflict much because I would like to be at all your home games if I can be.
Definitely
Yeah.
want to catch a game for sure.
I drag these two with me as well, but I can't wait. Who else? So Rivendell's Rivendell 4?
Yeah, they're D4.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Joe, for that. I wanted to do any questions you guys have. Any little lunch pail mentality? I mean, glass eater.
I think the thing that stands out for me is the answers to his questions.
Yep.
Like it's somebody different. It's not
Yep.
the same
Yep.
people, which says a lot about your team as a whole.
Yeah.
They're not led by
100%.
1 or 2 people.
Yep.
And again, it makes good teams great. So, and I agree. You are a very well spoken
Very
young man.
well-spoken.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
And the fact that you acknowledge the people that help you get to where you are says a lot about who you are.
Yes, it does.
And there's not a lot of that anymore, I feel
No.
like.
Right.
Right. So kudos to your parents. They raised a fine young man, that is for sure.
They are good people, real good
And
people.
I wish you nothing but the best, and I can't wait to come to a game. I'm psyched.
You both should mark down January 17th.
Okay.
It's a Friday, and that's when Danville comes to town.
Speaking of parents, your dad says 3 Blue Devil players 6'3" plus.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I still can't get over your hands.
I know.
Oh
Seriously.
Can you dunk? You can dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like,
"Yes, I
of
can
course.
dunk."
He's like, have you dunked in a game?
Did you see the look
I
he
haven't
gave me?
yet.
No.
Yeah. Hello.
One of the goals this year, just a personal goal, is
Just
to
a
get one
dunk.
game.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see it.
My
I would
dad-
love it.
My dad told me every dunk I get in the game is $10.
Oh, I love it.
Go on.
Well done.
Nice. Hey. Well, money
done.
motivates sometimes, you know.
Do you like football?
I
Are
do
you a
like
big
football.
NFL fan? Okay,
Who's your team? Do you have a team, or do you just like in general just like the game of? You know?
Always grown up as a Patriots fan. It's been a
I had a
struggle.
feeling.
Been
I had a
struggle.
feeling.
Yeah.
Been a struggle, but it's looking really
You
positive.
know what? I like Drake May.
Me too. He's so
Yeah.
promising.
Yep.
On draft night in April, we had our question marks about Drake May.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Wheels was that he went
we
to
were
a basketball school, not a football school. Right?
Correct.
We were worried
Yes.
that the Giants were going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Giant fans here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Talk about painful. You have nothing on us.
Yeah.
Trust me, nothing.
So we end our show with a 6-pack of picks. So these are the 6 picks for this week. And we keep track. Last year I won, and I thought they were taking me out to dinner, and they did not.
Whoa.
So
Well, yeah, but tell
I
them
don't-
why we
yeah.
didn't take you, because you actually owe
was-
us dinner.
Yes.
Daniel Jones got hurt last year.
But
okay?
you, for this year, though, you
I
definitely owe
do.
us.
Yeah, oh, you did. I do. I mean, he looks good on the sidelines for the Vikings, and now I'm going to give Daniel Jones a
Here we
shout
go
out.
again. You literally cannot
He
keep him off your
landed
wagon.
where the
Here we go.
quarterback whisperer is.
Here we go.
Kevin
You know what? And
O'Connell.
I wish him nothing but the best.
He won't
honestly,
stay with Minnesota.
Yeah.
He won't
Honestly,
stay.
I hate the Giants front office more than I hate Daniel
Right.
Jones.
I mean, Saquon Barkley should not be in an Eagle uniform. He should be in
No.
a Giants uniform. Okay, now I digress because
Yeah.
we started talking about Daniel Jones.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Last week, CB, you had all 6.
Damn, CB,
Second
you're
time
killing
in a
it.
row.
I
Second
am
time in a row.
sucking.
Wheels, you had 4. I had
Yeah, I'm
5.
sucking.
Week before, though, you weren't here last week. You had a good week.
I did? All right.
Yep. CB, you're still in the lead, 51, 50, 46. Okay?
I got to start picking some
All right,
upsets here.
so Nick's going to do the picks with us this week, and then we'll announce next Wednesday who won this week's.
Boy.
So first up is the first one there, and it is Green Bay at Detroit. Green Bay at Detroit. We'll let you go first because you're our special guest.
I've wanted nothing more than to see the Lions succeed.
Yes.
My entire
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
I'm
Yes.
absolutely
Yes.
for the
Hell
Lions.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Are we all going Lions?
We're all going
We're all
Lions.
going Lions.
Not
All
on
right,
that
all right.
bandwagon.
Not even a
All right.
question.
I
Lions
asked
by
Santa
all.
for a Lions hat. Hopefully I get it.
Dan Campbell, kick-ass coach.
Oh,
Is he
yeah.
not cool or what?
He's the coach you want to play for.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Second up is a very hurting Atlanta Falcons team against Sam Darnold and the, I don't want to call them hot Minnesota Vikings, but they showed me that they can pull a game out last weekend.
Right?
They really did.
They went from nothing to scoring 21
I
unanswered
think
points.
Darnold had like 1
Wow.
point in our fantasy league and he finished with like 22.
Yeah.
Nice.
What is wrong with the Falcons and what is wrong with Kirk Cousins? He threw the ball right to every Charger on that field last week. And I like Kirk Cousins.
You do. Are
Yeah.
you jumping?
You go
You
first,
were, on, you
Wheels.
were on that bad one.
I know. Are you jumping off
I'm
that wagon?
not
or
off
no?
it. No, I don't get it.
So then are you going to choose them, though?
Yes.
I am not.
I'm
not.
going to choose them in an upset.
I'm not.
No. Minnesota. I think
Men.
Atlanta's season is kaput.
I want the Lions to increase the gap at the top, so I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you, Nick.
wow. Good
Thank you,
answer.
Nick. Thank you. We'll put the other 2 on this side. The first place Seattle Seahawks.
It's
I mean, it's a
That's
really
wild.
bad division.
It is a
Did anybody think
terrible
the
division.
NFC East would be a bad division, though? You got the Niners. You got
The West,
I
I mean,
picked
West.
I'm sorry, the
West.
West.
Yep.
I picked the Rams at the beginning of
You
the year.
did. And they still have a chance.
They do because that's I think Seattle's the only one with a winning
Yeah.
record.
The rest of them are
All right,
500
I'm
running.
digressing. So the Seahawks are at Arizona. I can't figure out Arizona or Kyler Murray.
But that's just
know.
it.
They go
Kyler Murray.
here,
Yeah.
and then they fall, and then they come up a little bit.
Yeah, I
So
can't. He makes me nervous. But McBride, man, he is a stud.
I'm giving McDaniel. Is it McDaniel? Am I getting his name wrong? McDonald. First year coach of the Seahawks. He was the defensive coordinator last year for the Ravens. He's getting the most out of that team.
Yeah, he is.
Geno Smith is
Yeah.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
It's like Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
Took them a while to get there, but they're
Yeah.
there.
Joe also went with Atlanta.
Really? Bounce
Yeah.
back, huh?
Wow.
I'll pick first this time. With the,
That's a crapshoot.
it's really, that whole division is a crapshoot. Gosh, they're at Arizona. I would have said Seattle easily if they had the 12th man, meaning
Yeah.
they are at
Right?
home.
I know.
This pains me. I'm gonna
This
pick
is the
Seattle.
toughest one, I feel like.
I'm gonna pick Seattle.
I'm gonna go Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really watch either of these teams.
Just because they're home.
Nick,
Like,
you going
it's like-
Zona?
I'm gonna go Zona. I
Okay.
think this will be an up week. This will be an
Okay.
up
Right, because
week.
they were.
Yeah.
You going Zona?
I can't really afford to take chances here.
You can jump on the Seattle.
I'm going to have to jump. I'm going to jump on the Seattle because Kyler Murray makes me nervous. He was on my fantasy team for so many years, remember?
He's my fantasy.
I
quarter-
know.
Okay.
Joe's going Seattle.
Can I ask you? I'm going to ask Nick this question. Fantasy football. Who did I say? Who do the Rams got? Rams are playing Buffalo. Okay. We already talked about Detroit playing Green Bay and Arizona. So Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford. Who would you play this week? I'm scared of that Green Bay defense too because they're playing really well.
Yeah.
I think I have Murray in there right now, and he scares the living.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's tough. Wow.
I'd probably go Jared Goff.
Would you?
Yeah.
Because I put Goff in first, and I put Murray in, and I have this thing about setting my lineup before the weekend. Okay. Nick,
I mean, Goff.
no pressure, Nick, but I think I'm gonna go with you. Okay.
I mean, Goff is like he never lets it. He's not going to let you down.
No.
The only thing I do then worry about is if they get a lead, will they run the ball? Because they have a two-headed monster at running back.
I don't know that offense.
Who knows? The 1 week that I bet on Goff having a passing touchdown, he doesn't have one. I'm like, you had 4 the week before.
Right.
You
Are we
couldn't give.
digressing really bad now?
It's lost money. Of course we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 2 with Seattle, 2 with Arizona. God, the only one we all agreed on so far, no doubt, is the Lions. We're all Lions fans here. It's,
Yep.
the very impressive Buffalo Bills
Very
at
impressive.
the LA Rams. There's no snow in LA.
There is not.
There- no.
But I'm going with Buffalo.
Same.
too. Me
Same.
Too.
I knew we were gonna.
I was
wanted somebody pick an upset there.
I was genuinely thanking God when the Buffalo Bills beat the Chiefs. I genuinely
Yeah, we were all.
was
We
so
were all
happy.
We were right there with you.
So much that I didn't watch the game because I was too nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't watch this game.
Yep.
And the only reason I say that, and we've said this many times, is how many times has Kansas City played from behind?
Yeah.
Every
of the
game this year,
season.
pretty much.
And how many games should they not have won?
And did
Right.
anybody
Every
watch
single
them
one.
play the Raiders on Friday? I did not. But how did the Raiders blow
Right.
that game?
Oh my
It's
gosh.
a thing that will never happen again.
Yeah. No.
Like, how do they just hike it?
Right.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right. And they're well in field goal range.
Well.
Yep.
Down by 2.
Yep.
I
Not
was
5,
like,
not 6. Okay, I'm sorry. So with that, and Mama Wheels, here we go.
Oh.
The LA
Oh,
Chargers
geez.
at Kansas City. To me, that's the game of the week. Because Jim Harbaugh keeps finding ways to win, or his defensive schemes are outstanding. I'm going with Coach Harbaugh.
as am I.
Yep.
My mom probably won't speak to me, but
are?
I am.
I can't tell if it's out of hatred for the Chiefs.
But
It doesn't matter.
Plays
Yeah.
into it, Nick.
I feel like that's always part of it.
Yeah. I just
does.
feel like I am going also with
the Chargers?
Oh my
yeah,
God, Mama
because-
Wheels is never listening to our podcast again.
Lost your mom.
Yep.
We lost your mom.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. But who knows? The fucking Chiefs. They always find a way to win.
Always.
And
so
Harbaugh
annoying.
said he had a plan for Kirk Cousins, but I'm like, well, the Chargers' jerseys were white.
Yeah.
And Atlanta's were black,
Yeah.
I think. So I'm like, just kept throwing it to the white jerseys. It was very
Yeah,
confusing to me.
it was.
Joe
And I
goes
love
Rams,
Kirk
too.
Cousins. Last, and this could be anyways, I'm
Yeah.
not going anywhere. Cincinnati Bengals, the best team with a losing record this year.
Oh.
At Dallas, who's on a 2-game winning streak. And I will say this, Micah Parsons
Joe.
being back makes a difference.
It
on
does,
the defensive
yes.
side. Joe Burrow is having an MVP
Oh my God, he's amazing.
season.
Thank you, Joe, fantasy quarterback.
So he's not dead to you.
He is not dead to me. No.
I can't remember the game this year. Wheels has him as her fantasy quarterback, and she texts at halftime and said, "Joe Burrow is dead to me. I wish I could remember the game." I stayed up to watch the game because it was an amazing game.
It was an
Burrow
awesome
went
game.
Off
In the second
and
half, yeah.
I just text the next morning, "Really, guys?" Because it was a great game, and Joe Burrow was amazing.
And then I said, Joe Burrow's alive and well.
Yes. And the fact that you have Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And Mayfield was a waiver pickup.
He
Good
was,
job.
yeah.
Good job. Since he has no defense.
They may as well not even put players out there. That's how bad their defense is.
Right.
Yeah.
Can Dallas win 3 in a row?
No, I'm going with Cincinnati.
Okay.
I saw something online somewhere that said America loves when the Cowboys lose.
So they're not America's team.
They are not.
They are not.
And-
America does love when the Cowboys
So
lose.
I'm going with the Bengals.
Nice.
Bengals, Bengals, TV.
Sorry, I got distracted. My friend Dan is tuning in. He said, "Stop texting me and chime in." But you know what? When you have the
We got 2 Cincy's.
Okay.
2 Cincy's. Sorry.
yeah, I got to go Cincy. I can't choose the
Then we're
Cowboys.
all
No.
going Cincy.
I can't choose the Cowboys.
I can't pick the Cowboys either. I really can't.
No.
I mean, I've impressed with their defense. Rico Dowdle's playing well. Dowdle, however you say.
But CD Lamb
his
has the
name.
yips. It's
He
that
yes.
he cannot
Yeah.
catch a pass.
He literally at one point was looking upfield, and I'm like, "Bud, you just got to catch the ball first," because I
Yeah.
do like CD Lamb. I think Jake Ferguson's back, but I don't know if that makes a difference. I really don't. Can they stop T. Higgins and Jamar Chase?
I was just going to say, Joe went with the Rams, with
Oh.
the Chiefs, and then with Cincy.
So that's okay.
All right.
And then Karen
Joe,
says,
I'll write that down.
Karen says, "Hope to see you back in the studio this winter, Nick."
Oh, we will have Nick back in the studio.
Oh, absolutely.
My man.
Mid-season
Thank
report
you.
I
card.
would love to.
I know he's like, I don't want to break your hands.
I wish I had brought some clay in here just to do an impression of his hand.
Look at that is impressive.
I'm pretty sure.
My hand is as big as his palm.
I'm pretty sure I measured it one time and it's 10.5 inches.
Jesus Christ.
Write that down.
That's got to be like the size of my forearm.
10.5 inches.
I can barely,
Do
palm
you
his
know?
Here.
Look at this. It's like the size of his.
I know, and that's
Wow.
a baby one too. That's literally
Yeah, but
looks
still.
like a baby one in his hands. Wow. Do you know that football players get beat up at the combine for having like 7, 8.5 inch
Yeah.
hands? 10.5 inch hands.
That's impressive.
My friend, I wish you nothing but the best this year.
Yes.
I cannot wait
Good
to
luck.
see you on the 14th. I can't wait to talk to Coach Sid Sweet on the 14th. I know it's been burning in your belly, and it's go time now.
Yep.
It's go
Yep.
time.
Yep.
And I'm not going to jinx you by using the term,
yeah.
the very odd term, but I'm just
we
going to
can't
say that
podcast
I
it.
will be
We're
there
gonna podcast
broadcasting. That's all I'm going to
100%.
say. And I hope my favorites are there. Okay?
There you go.
Have a great rest of the week. Conference championships on college football. What are we in? Week 14?
The expansion draft for the WNBA is on.
Is
Yes,
that this
this
weekend
week.
as
This weekend,
well?
I think.
Excellent.
Yep.
NBA all the time. College basketball. I actually stayed up last night to watch Kentucky and Clemson play. Kentucky was undefeated. Did you watch that game last night?
I didn't.
Clemson had it from the get-go, though. And you want to know why?
Defense?
Yes. You knew I was going to say
God,
that.
it's like
With
I
a
know
smile on my
something.
face. Clemson's defense was so much better than Kentucky's. Who are you picking in March Madness? Let's
March
just do
Madness.
this
Ooh,
now.
that's early.
See, I have my Jayhawk
It's-
cow here with me. I won't hold it against you if you don't say the
It's-
Jayhawks because they choke a lot.
I actually I don't really see it as much as
Okay.
what I get compared to Cooper Flagg a
Do
lot.
you?
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm gonna go with Duke purely because
I was
think
going to
they
say
can
you're going to
pull
pick
together.
Duke, aren't you? I have yet to watch them. They played Kansas last week, and I didn't tune into that game. And I'm hoping I put it in my library, so I'm hoping to watch it. But I can't wait to watch some Duke basketball
Yeah.
as well. In the parity, it's even playing field. We did start our show talking about UConn losing 3 in a row, though, in Maui.
No, that's,
But you know what? I won't count out Coach Hurley and the Huskies.
No.
I never will.
No.
Nick, thank you again.
Yeah,
thank you
thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Yes, thank you very much.
As we say, as we end every week, all sports.
wanna say
have
something?
you want to say?
the last thing that I want to
Yeah.
say is I want to from me, from Sid, from all of our team. We want to thank you and CVT Sports for broadcasting
Oh,
our,
that's so
our
nice.
games.
Carl Parton. Let's give a big
Yeah,
shout out to Carl
Carl.
Parton.
Yes.
Carl's the man.
We're so
He
excited
is
to have
the
you
man.
guys and thankful.
we are excited to be in Blue Devil land And I promise to wear blue, okay? I
Awesome.
promise.
Perfect.
I mean,
we should get some
wait,
apparel.
one more
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
Sid. And he's going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe she's saying this. I do need some apparel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparel.
Hook us up.
If
Hook
you
us up.
hook us
Or-
up with Williamstown Blue Devil apparel, we will wear it on the show.
Yes.
Or come the winter, you and Sid come in.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's do
We
it.
gotta
That's what Joe said.
expand the studio because, I mean, these guys are... Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of the week. All sports, all day, every day, all weekend. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time.